Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Juice is the New Tea. I am your host, Eleni Simos, also known as the Clean Eating Chick. And today, beyond excited to have my sister, Demetra Simos, joining us. She's the powerhouse entrepreneur and owner of TopShelf Network, TopShelf Logistics, TopShelf Services, a portfolio of companies that specialize in strategic alliances in events and entertainment, global logistics, and transportation. I did not write that. She did.
No, people do.
And most importantly, she's an event producer extraordinaire at heart who knows how to turn every gathering into a next level immersive experience. That's true. If you know her, that's legit. But that's not all. My sister Demetra is also an elite abundance manifester, making magic happen both in business and in life. And last but definitely not least, she is the proud mama to my beautiful niece, Valentina,
VIP.
aka VIP. And Demetra has the keen ability to balance motherhood and hustle. So get ready for some inspiring conversation on business, manifesting abundance, making money, and motherhood. So without further ado, meet the Kris Jenner to my Kim Kardashian.
You're doing great, sweetie.
Thank you. Let's get right into it. My sister, welcome to Juice is the New Tea.
Everyone can applause.
Woo! Thank you.
We're at the clubhouse.
Yes, we are. First, I want to cheers to you.
Yes, of course.
Health, wealth, happiness, sex, and stocks with a
And crypto.
delicious and crypto, right? Okay, we're adding to that. This is everyone's favorite cheers, by the way. How many people have stolen that cheers from us? Health, wealth, happiness, sex, and stocks.
Imitation's the best form of flattery.
So we have a little watermelon here, a little sweet from Cleansed Juices. So
A little vicious from Top Shelf.
Yes. So I want to get into it. So you were recently reintroduced on my Instagram stories the other day because we were out to dinner and I got up to go to the bathroom and you decided to tell the restaurant while I was in the bathroom that it was my birthday, when in fact it's not my birthday. So I was sitting at the table and then all of a sudden the restaurant, everyone starts singing happy birthday to me.
Yeah.
And me being the good sister that I am, I played along.
Right.
And you recorded the experience because you just like to put me on the spot. So that was everybody I brought you back into.
I thought Big Al shouted me out and said I was wild, so I needed to come back to say, no, I'm demure, and I pay my taxes and I go to church on Sunday. I'm not wild, so that's how I got
coming on to save
introduced
face.
again.
Yeah.
So I figured, how could I not come back after being shouted out?
Thank you to Big Al for shouting you out.
Thanks to Big Al for a lot of things.
Thank you for adding me to your calendar to join us on this beautiful evening.
I mean, an honor.
But this is also not our first rodeo.
No.
We were podcast pros back in 2010, 2011.
Yes.
We had a show called Sweet and Vicious.
Yes. Well, we had a network.
And
then we also had Sweet and Vicious.
Yes.
And we had fantasy sports and recap shows of fan faves like True Blood and Throwing It Back.
We had
live streamed art events.
Yes. So I want to talk about that because this was Top Shelf. We called the network Top Shelf Network.
Right. We incorporated so no one could sue us.
Right, exactly. That's right. Because you
own
always
entity.
Whenever we would talk on the show,
allegedly,
we would always say allegedly whenever we would be talking about celebrity juice and gossip.
Yeah.
Because that's what was the premise of our show, was entertainment.
Yes, exactly.
Right.
Yeah.
So you taught me that from an early age, like you always say allegedly.
Yeah.
But we started Top Shelf in one of the bedrooms of our family home.
Yes.
We went to B&H. You were 26 at the time. I was 20 because you're 6.5 years older than me. And I'm just saying, people always ask me is she older? Is she younger?
I'm younger.
Yeah. And we built a studio in our house. But
From the ground up.
Yeah.
Literally, remember we found that installer guy, Ben or something, and we made him, drove him, picked him up to and from Brooklyn to set everything up, set up all the cameras. We had 5 shots.
Yeah.
The guest couch.
Yes. We literally,
You created lower thirds.
Yes. I did the
You
lower
taught
thirds.
yourself.
Exactly. I
We
made
did
our
the show
intro.
notes.
Right. So this was before anyone really knew
Visionary.
podcasting.
Yeah.
And we launched Sweet and Vicious.
Yeah.
With 30,000 downloads in the first week, and we were featured on iTunes.
As new and noteworthy.
Under What's New and Noteworthy.
Yeah.
And we had a nice little run there.
Yeah, that was fun.
We live streamed the Oscars red carpet.
Yes. The gifting suite in Beverly Hills.
Yes.
We also had Charlie on from MTV, the one
from True Life, I'm Getting Married, the one who flipped out.
On the limo. That was great.
Right. We had Leanna Werner-Gray, founder of the Earth Diet. She was our health goddess guru who introduced me to juicing and did so much. And she also designed our website back in the day. So that's, you took that idea at the time. I was more of the creative, which I still am. And you always had the business savvy mind. So from that point, this is 15 years ago? Is that 15? That's insane. Sweet and Vicious, Top Shelf Network, 7 shows.
Yeah.
In our
live streaming 24/7. That was the secret, was live streaming 24/7, getting those hits, international hits, also utilizing Twitter, social media, X, but it was Twitter back then, tweeting, and then also like supporting the local, because like we had local people who did like the health and wellness show or the sports podcast
and we
show.
had sponsors. Yeah. We had our local businesses sponsoring. We had our local tanning spot that we would go to sponsor Sweet and Vicious.
So we could get the free tanning beds.
Yeah. But like you mastermind.
I also was putting on dance shows with the kids when I was like 10 years old.
I know.
With all the kids on the block.
And it was fun. It was like, that was our Monday night get together. I would do the show notes. You would produce. Yeah. We would sometimes just be me and you. We had segments.
Yeah.
The creep of the week.
Obsessed with E, over it with D.
Very true to our personalities.
Okay, quick. What are you obsessed with?
Currently right now?
Right now, 10, 5, 4.
Oh my God.
3. I figured 10 was too high to start.
I don't know.
2.
What
1.
am I obsessed with? Currently, I'm obsessed with this show, Better Sister, on Amazon Prime.
You said that.
Yeah, but like, I don't know. It's maybe too soon to tell that I'm obsessed with it.
Okay.
I don't know. I'm still obsessed with hummus. That's like a forever obsession. That was.
You still never locked in that hummus.
I know, the hummus deal. That's next. Yeah. Kris Jenner, get it together. The Clean Eating Check needs to be sponsored by. My current obsession, my hummus obsession is Estes, this brand. Okay. Founded at the local
market. Top?
Yeah, founded at the local market in my new hood.
Yeah.
And I love it. So work on it, sister.
Okay, proud
of you.
Thank
you. Why did Top Shelf Network stop? You wrote we had scheduling conflicts. The truth is we got into a sister fight.
We had scheduling conflicts.
We got into a sister fight.
And
we were taking a hiatus anyway.
Yeah, because I got really busy when I was working. We started working with Amex. Yeah. And that was like.
Yeah. And then we took a little hiatus, but you then pivoted Top Shelf into becoming a staffing agency.
Well, because what was it had an entity. It had a tax number. It was just doing nothing.
Right.
So I funneled all of my projects and had everyone pay Top Shelf.
Right.
So I could show stability and be a legit company, W-9, and, it grew.
Yeah, beyond. I mean, now you are a self-made multimillionaire with Top Shelf Network as your event production. I mean, it's a full-on agency. You've produced events for, I can name them. Maybe I'll let you name them.
I mean, we were very lucky to align ourselves with brands that did premium work, premium events. We were getting to do like exclusive backstage experiences, and it was all about the consumer experience. And I think being on the ground and being there the day of the event really like laid the foundation of what was missing, because then when I was producing events and I couldn't find proper people to help check in or just like people to show up on time and things like that. That was like the essence. And, you have to kind of start and answer something that's missing for your clients.
Yeah.
And
problem solving.
Yeah. Having top shelf people.
Right.
Is, how we started and got our foot in the door.
Right. But I think what a lot of people don't realize is that they think event production or events in general. When I tell people, oh, she owns an event production company, or when I would be doing event production work, they'd always say, oh, like event planning?
Are you an event planner?
Yeah. Or like planning weddings or something. It's like.
Which like, no shade, but like what we do
you
is
create experiences.
It's a different level. Yeah. It's a different level of.
Yeah. You've been on tour. You produced Oprah Winfrey's 2020 Vision Your Life in Focus tour. Yeah. Right before the world shut down.
Literally. You went into Denver, 0 COVID cases, flew out, state of emergency.
Right.
And I flew straight to Vegas for another event.
Right.
And then everyone's like, the city's shutting down that weekend. And I was like, I guess I'll come home.
Right. I know. I remember that. And what I'll never forget our conversation because at the time, like you had locked in because of the success of the Oprah tour, you locked in a really busy spring. And then when Mark Zuckerberg announced that Facebook wasn't going to be holding any live in-person events, you were like,
well, no, it was the
shit.
NFL. The NFL always like kind of sets the standard of the process and things like that, or at least like to roll it out back then. And when they said that they weren't doing anything, when the sports industry said they weren't hosting live events or even playing at that point or whatever it was, yeah, it was.
You were like, oh shit.
Yeah, I was really depressed.
But you pivoted.
Oh, yeah, it was great.
Do you want to share how you pivoted?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's something you're probably going to want to talk about is just being open to and manifesting. And so when the world shut down, I, was a 24/7 type of workaholic, but I enjoyed what I did and do. So when I said, okay, the universe is making me shut down and take a break.
Down, yeah.
And, luckily, like, besides one other person, I didn't have anyone who was affected by COVID. So I was able to really kind of just use this time in a different way than maybe some other people were affected. And I went to Vegas and like worked out, lost weight, just like lived my life in the pool, eating grapes, like.
You're really painting a picture for us there.
Yeah, PG one.
Yeah.
And
should we have the
got a convertible
after dark?
Yeah,
okay.
we should.
Okay.
And just like was living people were coming over. We were like, it was just great. We were, just being selfishly. What was the point of what we were talking about?
How did you pivot?
Yeah.
TopShelf?
So thankfully, yada yada. I was able to get money from like the government because of the company, and so I took
SBA
that.
loans. Yeah.
No, I didn't take the loan. I took something else.
Okay.
Then someone was coming back from Mexico and he was like, hey, Dee, can I come to Vegas before I go to New York to quarantine, blah, blah, blah. Said, sure, come. He comes and we go out to eat and I'm just talking to him and he's like, in the industry, like-minded. And I was just like, I really need to figure out a way. I'm slightly freaking out. I don't know what to do. I'm opening OnlyFans. Like, what am I doing with my life? And, all the things started going like, I should have done this. I should have done this. Like, now I'm a business person. What do I do? Started zero. And he was like, I know somebody who works at the manufacturer distributor for COVID testing. And I said, oh, that sounds great. Can you introduce me? And so connected with them. Obviously did the COVID compliance that was like all throughout the industry, but I had a direct tap into the COVID tests. So I was getting them at a very good price. I was selling them at market rate, and provided COVID testing international, like nationally.
Because you also
wrote tests for people to travel. Created concierge service.
Right. You also knew that even though majority of the world was shutting down, there were things that still needed to be moving and happening. So you trained you had every production manager
producer
on your team become a COVID compliance officer.
Especially coming off of the tour of Oprah tour, I had 8 markets super on lock. Like, I have all markets on lock, but really like on lock. And I just reached out to them and I was like, I'll pay for you to get the COVID test. I'll send you a kit. This is what you're going to print out. This is what you're going to wear. Mask up. Be safe. And let's keep it going. I really just wanted to support the industry. Like, I wasn't coming from like a monetary place. I was more just like, oh my God, this is great. I want to offer something to somebody because we were just seen as an event company. And that's why after that, I diversified into like transportation, logistics, because I was like, that ain't happening again where I'm getting
where you're
scared.
Freaking out.
Yeah. Right. You have to diversify.
I feel like that's so important because I sometimes can have a tendency of freaking out when things aren't like happening the timeline that I feel like they should, or when things slow down. I think a lot of people, when in business, especially entrepreneurs, it's not always up, right? There are times where it's slow.
Ebb and flow.
You also have to know your market and know like the particular industry that you're in. Exactly.
Hashtag what off season.
Exactly. Okay, sure.
You just always have to prepare. You always have to prepare.
But you have an ability to pivot.
Winter is always coming.
Okay. Game of Thrones fans for everyone.
That's actually like what my husband says. He was Colombian, and he's like, the difference here is that you always have to think about the winter. Like in Colombia, you're always just hanging out in the summer and the beach and
I like
living your life.
Winter
so you have to
coming.
always be prepared. That's it.
Amen. Yes, so you've always had an entrepreneurial mindset. You seem to make things easy, whereas other people would overcomplicate. You once ran into a man by Jay-Z Jigga, at his 40/40 club.
Yeah.
Right? Okay. And he shared a piece of.
This wasn't at Jet Stadium?
I don't know. You told me it was
All right.
I don't
Okay,
know.
maybe.
Maybe I'm
Okay.
mixing
Yeah, maybe.
timelines.
Go ahead.
But we were raised by our beautiful mother,
Yes.
who always told us if you were to ever run into a public figure, a celebrity, quote unquote, or someone that you admire, to take that opportunity to, as opposed to praising them, because everybody praises them all the time.
Yeah.
Take a
Send
moment.
me your Amex number.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly that. She would tell us to ask them a question.
Right.
Right. So you ran into Jay-Z.
Yeah.
And you asked him, you were 22.
Okay.
Am I telling you the story, or are you going to tell the story?
Remember.
Oh, Madonna mia.
What?
I remember. You know
okay, tell me.
Okay. I'll tell you. You're okay. I remember you shared this with me. I tell people this to this day. Like
Maybe
I
blocked it out of my head.
You asked him, what's a piece of advice that you have for an up and coming female entrepreneur?
Okay.
Okay.
And he said, pay it forward.
He said, always give, because what you give returns to you tenfold.
Yeah.
Was that not? That was impactful for me. I mean,
well, no, I'm glad I shared that with you.
Thank you.
For it to be impactful, because it was impactful for me too, clearly.
Yeah. Well, clearly you've had a lot of other run-ins with people that, do you have another one that was more impactful?
I think like when you said that you wanted to like talk about it, I was just surprised, because I've been very lucky to like work, and I just thought there was some other funny stories. I don't know. There's like a time we were doing gifting, and this is back in the day, back when there was magazines for the Oprah magazine, and we were gifting, UGG was our client. We were gifting the new outerwear line and like their bagwear line, and they were trying to expand, always diversify. And so yada, yada, yada. I was on the gifting team, and I wanted to gift it to Oprah, and everyone was like, don't do it. She doesn't accept it. If you're going to send it to Adam. He was her creative director. And I was like, well, I'm just going to send it to her, and she doesn't accept it yet. Lo and behold, 1 week go by, 2 weeks go by, and we don't hear anything. I'm in the office, I'm talking about it. And this back when you're in office, like cubicles, and they're like, Demetra, line 1. And so I go back to my desk, I pick up the phone, and they're like, hi, please hold. And then she's like, hi, Demetra, this is Oprah. Thank you.
Really?
And I was like, shut up, because I thought that it was somebody like playing a joke on me. I was 20, probably around the same time, 23. Sorry, 23. Yeah, so
Oprah
I told her to shut up. I mean, she passed it through. It was 30 seconds. There's some other things, but I'm glad that like resonated with you.
Well, yeah, because I feel like that's how we choose to live our lives.
Yeah.
In terms of just being
Carpe diem.
Yes. Well, yeah. Carpe diem, seize the day.
Yeah. Y la noche.
Yeah.
And the night.
And the night. Okay. I don't know. I just feel like that he shared that bit of information with you before he even became like hip hop's first billionaire. So that was, if you were 22, that was several years ago. I mean, whatever. Yeah, so
2 decades.
Right. That's wild. So I guess we kind of touched on challenges you face as a business owner and how you overcame it. I feel like you have to, knowing
the world shut down, and I didn't.
But knowing, again, like you said, like ebbs and flows, and knowing what your off season is, and always preparing for a winter.
Yeah.
Right? I love that.
Yeah.
What habits or routines have been essential to your business success?
What habits or routines? I think, honestly, I work the best at night. So during the day, I'm on meetings and calls, like who gets work done? No one, because you're talking or, talking about what you're going to do.
Right.
And then what I like to do is like, I'm offline, I eat, I hang out, go in the jacuzzi, whatever I'm going to do. And then like everyone goes to bed, and then I like put something on as background, whether it's music or like mindless, whatever. And I just like bang out through my emails. I like bang out invoices, bang out like budgets, whatever I have to do. I send it. I started to auto send because my team started freaking out, and they're like, you email us like at 1 a.m. and then you email us again at like 4 a.m. and like, do you sleep? You're giving us anxiety. And I said, I'm sorry. I just either like just remember to send something, and I wake up in the middle of the night because I have my daughter or whatever.
Yeah.
So now I do auto send. So it's like 8:01. Bing,
so
bing,
like a
bing.
schedule send.
Yeah, I think just like working when there's some off time to help get ahead of the next day.
Yes. You always tell me work smarter, not harder.
Obviously.
What does that mean to you?
Making your money work for you and not having to always be somewhere to make money.
Yes, I know. You always tell me I need to automate.
Make money when you sleep. It's my favorite thing to do.
Bless. This is my favorite question for you. How has ChatGPT leveled up your scheduling, your life hacks, your business planning, and your strategy? Because you're a fan of AI to a degree.
To a degree, I'm a fan of AI.
Yeah.
It's here.
Yeah, so like get used to it kind of thing?
Yeah.
Adapt or die?
Get on the bus or get run over. But I think especially for me, always the constant conversation in my business, I think for anyone, especially now, just with the current economy and kind of everything, current events, finding ways to be efficient. And time is the most valuable asset, and not having to spend time when it could take something like AI, a millisecond to give you something that then you can edit and tweak and make it, yours. Like, I'm not saying to use AI to like submit something and then, but to use it to help even like edit. Like sometimes as a business owner, you can feel very alone, or like if I'm working at 1 a.m. and I don't have like somebody to collaborate on, and you're like, does this sound good?
You ask it for validation.
I do.
But you also had to create your schedule for you.
Oh, I did.
Yeah, tell me about that.
Okay, so I told ChatGPT that I wanted time to work. I want to now prioritize being in a different stage of my life, like more of my health, being a mom, being a wife, taking care of the house, taking care of business, etc. So I said, like, I want to be able to sleep a little late. I want to do this. Like, I just gave it some details, and it gave me a whole schedule, and it was, I was going to say orgasmic, but it was amazing.
You can say orgasmic.
Yeah, it was orgasmic. No, because it really like broke it down. I was like, oh, that makes so much sense. Like, wow, I actually have an hour of free time. Thanks.
Oh.
Like it gave me everything I wanted to do.
Do you use the schedule?
I have, but I also like have problems with repetitive things. So my day-to-day is not every day.
Okay.
So I used it for a little bit. I think more in like, during the winter months when I was in New York and it was like cold and I would use it then. But now it's summertime. So like I want to be
party.
Yeah. Or just out by the pool, not working that hard.
Yeah. Yeah. So what advice do you have personally for entrepreneurs, up and coming entrepreneurs? It could be a mantra, it could be a practice.
I think that you have to have tough skin. You have to trust yourself, and you have to be a problem solver. I think if you do all of those things and you continue and you're passionate, you will be successful no matter what.
And not losing your cool when you need to pivot, or losing
No, you're allowed to lose your cool.
Okay, cool. Yeah, because
Yeah. Flip a table, throw something. It's great.
Okay, good. It's therapeutic,
Yeah.
right?
Release.
How did you so how did you personally discover the power of manifesting abundance in your life? Did mommy influence this at all in you? Like, did she make you watch The Secret when you turned 18? Because she made me watch The Secret.
Yeah. Was it when I was 18? I think I was a little bit older than that. But yeah, she got exposed to The Secret, and then she was like, "Oh my God, you have to watch this."
Did she say it like that?
Maybe not with the shoulders, but she's like, "Oh my God, you have to watch this." And so I watched it with her, and then obviously read the book, and then like everything kind of just started to like spiral.
You read The Alchemist and or The Celestine Prophecy. And I remember when I came to you and I told you I was reading those books, you're like, it's about time.
Yeah. Welcome.
Yeah.
I think it was that, and then I think it was that, but really it was the board that I made at my school, and then finding it later, my vision board, which it wasn't intended to be a vision board. I did everything on that board.
Cool.
So it was when I was at FIT, we had to put together a visual board of a plan. And of course, I put together an event, and it was like red carpet, and it had Jay in it, and like all these things. House in Malibu and LA, whatever it was. And like, I had it all there, and it was up in the attic. And then at some point, a few years after that, I went through the attic and I found it. And I think it was like both me and mommy were like, oh my God, like I did everything on this. Like I met Jay, I did this, I went here, I did that. And that's when she's like, it's a vision board. And I was like, great. And I think that's like, I was like, holy shit, this really works.
Unintentionally. Like you weren't intending for that to be a vision board or even like working towards something. You were just following your yes, following the opportunities.
Always say yes.
Yeah.
Like in a safe space. But like currency is current. You can say no. Like when things are fucking hot, you go, you know, and that's also with the ebb and flow. You know what I mean? Like last year, I did not know if I was coming or going. Like there was 1 month with my 2-month-old that I was on tour and I literally was producing like probably 75 events across the country in like 3 weeks with me and my team of like, I think 8 at the time. And it was insane. And I was literally, and then like coming back. And then at one point towards the end of the year, I was in a different state every week from August to literally December with Valentina in tow. And obviously my husband. And it was just crazy. But now like things I'm, you know, choosing to be a little bit calmer. And so like, again, now it's like that ebb and flow where it's like, okay, now I'm chilling a little bit.
Yeah.
Crypto's good.
But you always say yes to things and figure it out later kind of thing.
Yeah. Exactly.
Because I remember that there was a point, I don't remember what year it was. I think it was maybe just after COVID. I don't remember.
Because people on my team.
We had 2 events in 1 week, or we were supposed.
Because my team was asking me, because I was saying yes to everything, and somebody who is not on my team anymore was like, "Can you please say no?" So like 1 or 2 times
like,
I said no. I listen. If my team is telling me like we're stressed, we're this, we're that, I don't want to be taking on things and then not executing excellence.
Right.
So I said no, but this actually was an event. This was like staffing. They were just like, we just don't have bandwidth. We don't want to staff it, whatever it is. So I said no to them. But we're not in a 9 to 5. Like we're not, you know, someplace where you can call out. Like the show is going to go on. Right. So whether they take us or not, like there's another agency, there's another producer, there's another whatever it is that's going to say yes. You know, so yeah, you got to seize the moment.
Amen, sister. Can you share? Oh, wait. You once told me that the end goal is freedom.
Yeah.
Okay. You told me this when I couldn't decide what I wanted to do with my car keys in the new garage that I got or whatever. And I was like, I don't know if I want to give them the key and then I have to hold the little tab to get into the building. Like there was just, I don't know. And you're like, give them, I don't even think you answered. You were just like, the end goal is freedom. Give them your keys.
Yeah. I was like, that's why I put the door code on the condo. Like, who wants to have a key?
Okay.
Who wants to carry?
You took something so
who wants to carry stuff?
Yeah. Like the little bag with nothing in it kind of thing.
Yeah. Or just like your lip gloss or your credit card.
Yeah.
Bink, bink.
Bink, bink. Okay. Got it. In the little. Okay. Can you share a specific moment when manifesting changed your business or financial outlook? And can you explain that concept?
Sorry, can you repeat the question again?
Can you explain a specific moment when manifesting changed your business or financial outlook? Like, because I feel like you maybe, I mean, I'm close to you, obviously, but I don't ever really see you getting stressed if something doesn't happen in the way that you might want it to. In terms of,
there's
like,
been time,
no, I know, well, I know, depending on the context of what you're referring to, you'll flip the out.
Yeah.
But I'm talking
not in a
about,
while.
No, but thank God. Valentina, we have to thank for that. My niece, calming you down a little. But I guess just, you know.
I think always calling myself an agency when I was really just me and one other person who was like part-time monthly retainer.
So I refer to cleanse sometime as we. So you're saying,
no, it
like,
should always
be
we.
We, never I.
Yeah, no.
Right.
Yeah.
It should always be a we.
Yeah.
We.
Yeah.
See. Yay. What role geez, what was that? What role does gratitude play in your abundance mindset?
Oh, I mean, if you are not genuinely grateful or have gratitude and don't come from a genuine place of that, may peace be with you, but you are not going to live in the everlasting
quantum field
of abundance.
Yeah. Because I think you have to be grateful for something before you even receive it. And a grateful heart.
The universe is not going to reward someone who doesn't wake up every day and is grateful for what they currently have. And also just, and like, I don't want to say like making the world a better place, but making the world a better place, right? Like, no, but it sounds like corny
positive
sometimes,
impact.
but and just like paying it forward and like supporting people and, coming from a place of yes. And, like, that's just
that's
how
what
you
I'm
invite
saying.
it in.
I think also too, like the karma that you have accrued with your success in the last few years, you're always wanting everybody to enjoy themselves when they're with you. You're like one of the best hosts.
Yeah.
When you share your Martha Stewart memes on your story, it makes me laugh because like
She's
it
badass.
was a Greek Easter that was just going to be like a small, intimate Greek Easter. And like, should I have a chocolate bunny with espresso martinis pouring out of it? And like, you make it happen.
And I did the adult Easter egg. You were very excited.
Yes, and you do it. And like, we're having a teriyaki turn up with hibachi on Tuesday.
That's
like,
gonna be fun.
There's, you're always wanting everybody around you to have a good time.
I mean, like, this is what we're here for.
Yeah, but there are people that don't operate like that.
Well, I'm sorry, and I hope you find the way.
Yeah, so the way would be what, though? If you're starting from nothing.
If you're starting from nothing, and that's a pretty deep statement, right? Like, if you have a bed and you have like a place and you have a job, or you're at a place where maybe you feel like is nothing, or the ground level and you want to go up, I think it's waking up and saying, holy shit, or sorry. Oh, I'm allowed to curse.
You're allowed to curse.
Waking up and saying, okay, I'm going to this job and I'm grateful that I have this job and I'm going to make it great. But you know what? I really like to do music, or I really like to do this. And so then like spend some time cultivating that and like pouring back into yourself in a way that like feels meaningful, that you're like here to spread a gift for. Mm-hmm. Does that make sense? Mm-hmm. I think like when you are genuinely happy and doing what you like to do, or what you feel like your soul's mission is or your purpose is, then I think it's easier for you to like be currently grateful and live in that kind of quantum playground, which I used to call. And then it just spirals, it just in a good way. Obviously you can be in a place where, and I'm sure everyone's experienced it, where you spiral downwards.
Right.
You're like angry, you're mad, everything's wrong, blah, blah, blah. And then what happens?
You're in a victim mindset.
And then what happens? Like your karma
You're just
down,
perpetuating all of that shit.
And it's just like, oh, it's like the kids are sick, and then it's this and it's that. And it's like, shit happens. But if you think good, it'll be good. If you focus on the good, it'll be great. And then I think when you start to do that, it multiplies, because what you put your energy into, what you focus on, just like the fucking algorithm on Instagram and TikTok and everything, it's going to hyperspeed the universe of what you're focused on. So you're focused on love, family, that's what it's going to hyper intensify.
I love that.
Great.
Beautiful.
You're welcome.
Do you have any other witchy tips or practices that you do? Because you are a Scorpio rising.
Yeah, the cinnamon on the first day.
Blow cinnamon into your doorway.
Closing all of the toilet doors, the bathroom doors.
The toilet, okay.
And the actual lid. Money goes down the drain.
Rocks in the sink.
Rocks in the sink. Like, I do love that, but you have to make sure, like, please, people, if you do that, like, you clean every day, because, like, don't do that and then not clean. It's gross. Don't put your bag on the floor.
Yes, that's a big one. Prevents the circulation of money.
I think those are, like, the most popular.
Your top.
Like,
okay.
That are, like, the easiest to do.
All right, so let's get into making money, because you're good at that. How do you diversify your income streams, and why is that important to you?
So make money where you sleep. So I coined it actually, like I was actually thinking about this, and I coined it many years ago, and I started calling it double dipping. And then I would like make a joke. I'm like, I'm triple dipping today.
Yeah, you do that. You do that.
And then like one day I was like, yo, I'm quad dripping. I'm quad. And what does that mean is that I have 4 different people paying me that day without being present. And I'm not like stealing money. I have clients that pay me for certain things, and you just keep generating that income. Like, it's just like Monopoly. You're not going to go around the board, just collect 200 and then pay. Like, you want to start buying real estate. You want to start diversifying. So it's really just making sure that you are being smart with where you're putting all your eggs in the basket. Right.
What advice would you give to someone struggling through any financial blocks?
There's money noise. And there's so much noise, money noise, food noise, like love noise, relationship noise. one of my favorite lines also is that small leaks sink a big ship. And especially people on my team, you know, if we're like scaling back and a few projects ended and I'm waiting for some other things to come through, I will like scour that Amex bill and I'll be like, cancel your Spotify, close this out. Like, you know, maybe I'm not yelling like that, but I'm like, you know, minimize this because it adds up. And I don't want to be the people that say like, every day, if you don't have coffee, then you could have $1 million house.
Yeah, but that's true. Maybe not $1 million house, but $5 a day, or now like $8 a day.
$5 a day of giving you coffee or peace is like fine. And I don't want to like Spotify music is like $14, whatever. The point is that I think like if you're struggling with money right now, you want to tighten up because there are times where I was living paycheck to paycheck. I knew that I was like, okay, the next week I'm bringing like my sandwich home from work. Like I'm going to be mindful, you know, and really just like spending more than what you make to get you there. But then the secret is the diversification, is getting paid or having different avenues of money. And then you can now say, okay, my extra money from this is going to pay for my phone bill. This is going here. And then it ends up just kind of bubbling up a little bit more because now you're being mindful of what you're spending or not spending. You're getting extra income from different places. And that's how you're going to start the ladder of going up.
Right.
And then it becomes easier.
And then
hopefully
also,
you buy assets that create money.
Right. And it's also having a positive relationship towards money. A lot of people don't like money or they're scared of money.
When I write checks out, like, I am so grateful.
Yes,
even though I'm parting with however much money, I'm like, thank you.
Being mindful of the energy.
So-and-so for doing this for us and our clients. They loved it.
Yay. Exactly.
And then, approved and sending it out with love.
Right.
And
writing like abundance, and it's always an investment in self. And also like not, because I don't really check my bank account. Like I just always trust. I do believe that it is important. There's a few, quotes that I heard recently that I was like, okay, what was the guy from Shark Tank or one of the not Mark Cuban, the other bald-headed guy, I forget his name.
Kevin O'Leary.
Maybe, yeah. He said something about never let a dollar.
Kevin is like pretty serious.
Sorry, okay, Kevin. Sorry, you can sponsor Juices the New Tea. I'll learn all about you then. He said something about never leaving a dollar on the table, and even if like there's something that happens on your flight and JetBlue offers you a credit, take the credit or something. Like he was just saying, be respectful of money, because if you just, whatever, it's $5, I don't care, I don't need it. Like you're not building a positive relationship with money.
Yeah.
And I think also just like, trusting.
I think he means it. Don't leave a dollar on the table. Like, don't leave any business opportunities on the table.
Maybe, but he used the example of like
JetBlue points.
He did. He literally, yes, it wasn't JetBlue. I think it might have even been Delta.
So relatable, Kevin.
Yeah, no, I think it was Delta. I don't like Delta, but
we'll always get those points. Actually,
yes. How many points do you have?
I mean, they gave me a helicopter rides, JetBlue,
because of how many
the
points
level,
you have.
Yeah, that I was.
Tell us how many points you have right now.
No, I don't know.
You said it to me the other day.
4.6 million or something like that.
4.6 million points. She's like, I'll buy your flight to Greece with my points. I'm like, great, thank you. Like, let's fucking go.
I save all year.
Yeah. Mazel tov. That's fabulous. Yeah. Okay. What's I guess we've already kind of touched on this, but what is the best money mindset advice you've ever received?
The client's always right.
Okay. So like the customer's always right.
Yeah. I know. I think it's just, I have at times taken projects, not in a red, but very low to get my foot in the door or to show them what we are. And some people may not agree with that. Some people may say, don't lower your worth, this and that. But I say, like, I'm coming from a place, first of all, when I do events, and because I have different avenues of like businesses, but when I'm working specifically for events, I'm coming from a genuine place. I love what I do. I care about the brands that I work with. So if there's a brand that's like, we want to do this, this is the amount of money we have. There are times where like I lower my agency fee. I'll give them a deep friends and family discount. So I think it's like being a partner and a friend to like your clients, you know, is the best piece of business advice. Is and you may need that person in the future to do you a favor, you know?
Absolutely. How do you set financial goals, and what systems do you use to track your progress? Or do you use any systems to track your progress?
When I check my apps and I just make sure it's at a certain level of funds, and then I go, am I worried or not today? No, I you know, look, when you like start to invest little by little, that's the secret. I think it's this right now, you know, if you're listening, and you are listening, obviously you're subscribing too, but I really hope that you open up a crypto account, you put some money in crypto, and it's the Wild West, and it's not going anywhere. All of the big banks, even governments, are adapting to it. It's rolling out. I mean, major corporations are now utilizing it. It's not really like the black sheep anymore. We are in the age of Aquarius. It's about digital currency. It's collapsion of what we have used before, old system and practices, and now it's a different, you know, energy we're all entering, which I know that we probably all feel that. And, you know, I think it's just really important to not keep your money in a bank that's not doing anything. Like, put it in a savings account. You get 4.65%.
Buy gold.
Buy a fucking Hermes or Chanel bag, because those things have tripled. I mean, I bought Valentina a Dior bag.
Of course you did.
It was the only one left in the city. And I purchased it. I called Dennis. I was like, I purchased this. I was like, you know, it's an investment piece for her. He's like, okay, you're crazy, but he respects the fashion. I Googled it because I was like, one of my friends was asking, and I saw that I could resell it for $1,000 more than I just bought it for.
Mazel tov.
Imagine now 2 years from now, 3 years from now, 4 years from now. So like, there are often times where like I will buy boots or bags because I like them. I end up wearing them once or twice, and then I like sell it.
You always tell me that if I call you and I'm like, this costs X amount of money. She's like, are you going to wear it 5 times or 10 times?
Exactly.
Then it's $5 every time you wear it.
I'm actually wearing for free.
It's girl math.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Duh.
Speaking of Valentina, your beautiful niece.
Yeah.
Beautiful little goddess. You kept your pregnancy pretty close to chest for a while. Can you explain why?
I am just aware.
You immediately became very private when you got pregnant.
Really?
Yeah, totally.
What do you mean? Like on social?
Yeah. Like you used to like be like close friends, like in the jacuzzi. Like,
well, I mean, like,
I know, but like whatever.
You know, close friends in the jacuzzi. Like,
sorry, whatever. Well, you already made a comment. You were thinking of starting an OnlyFans.
Well, that's when I was single, but pregnant and married. No, I think I just, first of all, I was like so
You
busy.
announced it socially after she was born, and I finally was like, I can share this. I have a niece.
Oh.
It was like a month after she was born.
Look, I think at the time, first of all, I had a really rough first trimester. I was really sick, and it was very intense, and it was this summer, and I just finished crazy spring power period. I mean, it was bananas. Came off, found out that I was pregnant the same weekend that I thought I was going to Mexico to have tacos, and found out I was pregnant, and then I was like, well, I guess I'm not going to Mexico to have
just
margaritas.
Remember, she's going to listen to this one day.
No, it's okay. She's allowed to know that I was planning to go to Mexico that weekend, and I didn't, to honor her, okay? I could have went and had margaritas and said, whoops, I didn't know. You know what I mean? So you're welcome, Valentina. And then, you know, was really sick, and then I got really busy again in the fall power period, and I think, like, look, just because social media is around, and I have like I'm still figuring out my balance with it, right? Because I want to share things with people. I also understand, like, we have a lot of family in Greece, and some, you know, some of them don't live in Greece. They still live internationally. So it's like an easy way to connect with them, right? Like they're 8 hours ahead of us, 7 hours ahead of us, so they can like see a post or whatever. I don't have to like spam people with pictures of Valentina. Like, they could just look on my page, right? Or on her page or whatever. But then something like how much is oversharing? Because now people are watching and not everyone is like supportive.
It's also like protecting from against people's projections.
Yeah, and energies.
That was the biggest thing.
And energies, you know? And so I think it's like, you know, I shared it with the people that needed to know and that I wanted to know.
Right.
And, you know, the rest found out when I announced it.
When you were ready to let them know.
Like the press release.
Like, okay, right. The press release. Okay. You also haven't really shared much about your home birth.
Well, what do you want to know?
You gave birth at home, like
I tell everyone that I go. I'm getting my hair done. I'm like, I had a home birth.
On the floor.
I'm getting waxed. I'm like,
I had a home birth.
Yeah. She was out 3.5 pushes. It was great.
What was your mindset like going into labor? Because I also think that that's also why you kept it a little bit close to chest, because you didn't want anyone's fear or bullshit about your home.
I don't need people to be like, oh my God, you're doing it. Like some of my girlfriends I shared, and some of them were like, most of them, honestly, all of them were really supportive, but some of them were like, oh my God, Dee, you're crazy. You know, I just, as soon as I found out that I was pregnant, I just saw myself giving birth at that, because I gave birth in Vegas.
Was that an intentional vision, or was that what you like? Was that like a premonition? Like you were like, I'm doing this and I'm giving birth at home?
No, I think I saw myself giving birth in front of the fireplace in the living room.
But that's not where you did it?
No, I did it in the bedroom.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I saw that and I was like, oh, I want to give birth at home.
But people also have been giving birth in home births
in caves.
Right. People were giving births. We've been giving birth shorter in hospitals, right? Like the length than actually outside of hospitals.
Okay.
Right. Just sharing that just to
Thank
share.
you.
Yeah, you're welcome.
That was great.
Thank you. No, but there's also just like a non-invasiveness to having a home birth, that you just wanted a more controlled and like sacred experience.
Yeah, I felt it was really special, and you know, this is why, you know, women are here to be that vessel, a portal. And yeah, it was fucking
wild.
trippy. Yeah.
Yeah.
There was only 2 times that I thought I overshot it.
What do you mean? Oh, like
I was like, maybe I shouldn't have done this.
Oh, okay.
One was when I was like, started to give birth, was in labor starting at 5 a.m. on the 13th of February, and then still writing emails because I was in Vegas and it was 3 hours. So it was like 8:30 in New York. So I'm like sending emails, telling people I'm in labor. And then literally Dennis plays the Tibetan flute and like music and like breathing. And I'm just like breathing, and I don't really remember. Like I was in a different universe.
You're in a trance.
Yeah. And then especially with that freaking music. And then it was like the app, because like the doula midwife told us to download the app and to count and trace the contractions. And Dennis said, like, at one point it kept saying, like, I hope you're getting ready to go to the hospital. And literally, like, it was 3 o'clock and no one came. The doula didn't come till 7 and the midwife didn't come till 9 p.m. that night.
Oof.
So when I thought I was like ready to go, she checks me and she's like, you're 4 centimeters. And I was like, are you fucking kidding me? Like, I was like, there's like, I'm not even halfway.
Yeah.
It's at 60-40.
Right.
Then I was like, oh, fuck, this is going to be
a journey.
Oof, yeah. And then the next one, they call it the Ring of Fire, without getting too graphic. When they're coming down the birth canal, they usually get like stuck in the vagina before they come out. And they call it the Ring of Fire because you don't really want it to go back up. You want her to stay there to go back.
Right.
And that was like,
the pressure was on.
Yeah, that was like, okay. Oh my God. Yeah, like, is this what it's, you know, it was just, that was the only time. And afterwards, I held my breath so I could hear her cry, because that's like when you know, like, everything's okay.
Yeah.
Eyes wide open on my chest. I let the placenta, like, you know, tap out. I delayed cutting it. Dennis cut
the umbilical cord.
Yeah.
How long was she connected?
It was like 4 minutes. Like, it was a long time. It was a long time.
Yeah.
Until it was pulsed out, like, completely. I told her it was.
So she got all of that goodness from you. Our little bebecita. What are some of the ways that you integrate motherhood now? Because you went from a mile a minute. You were never here. You were always traveling. You had the Vegas house. You had here. You were there. You were doing your thing.
Yeah.
Reconnected with Dennis. Got married. You guys were still both power team, whatever.
Mhm.
And then our little angel came into the world.
Mhm.
And then you like totally slowed down and like fully softened into your motherhood era, which for me was like crazy to see. I think for a lot of people that know you, crazy to see you
Yeah.
like slow down. But now you've been able to balance, because she was on tour with you 2 months after she was
2 months, she
born.
was at Jazz Fest listening to the Killers.
Yeah, she
Um,
has traveled
yeah,
to like
she's
8 different
she's been to CMA
city.
Fest
Yeah.
twice. She's
Yeah.
been to Latin Grammys. She's been to Complex
So how do you
Con.
integrate and how do you balance that? How do you make that happen?
Oh, I have like 5 people who help me. No, I mean,
you don't really have 5 people that
no,
help you.
I have 1.
Yes.
But I have 5 people because I have Instacart. I
Okay.
have I
Okay.
have a
Tell us.
nanny who
Okay.
helps with the laundry
Shout
and
out.
with Valentina. Dennis obviously helps because he works from home.
Mhm.
You know,
I love that you referred to Instacart as someone on your team.
yeah.
Who's the other person? Like
Target pickup, drive
Target.
up.
Okay.
Well, Instacart's like 5 people because it's food and
Yeah,
Costco.
yeah. I'm only joking.
No, I think growing up, obviously I've always thought about like having a family, getting married, and things like that. But my baby was my business, and I loved what I do, and it was great and fun and traveling. But then your priorities shift,
Mhm.
and I want to be around with her. She's so young, and this is every day. She's never going to be this little, she's
Mhm.
growing every
She's
moment
the
is something
best.
new. And I want to be around. And I was like, that's the fucking point, is
Yeah.
like to work and like then live your life and
Yeah.
enjoy your life.
Right.
And that is part of the reason why I was happy that I waited, as I was older, because then now like I can take her to mommy and me class on a Friday.
Yeah, you built your business, and I have people that
I
work with you.
Right. I'm on some calls. I
Mhm.
schedule lunch. I take her into the pool. We cuddle.
What advice do you have for other moms who want to pursue their dreams while raising a family?
I mean, I know it's not easy, and it's really hard, because I think a lot of times, and even for myself, you have to find time for yourself. And sometimes that's just like not anyone talking to you or needing anything. Like at night when the kitchen's closed, everything's clean, everything's nice. Like I sit there and it's like quiet. Now, like I understand why mommy loved like sitting, looking at the Christmas tree, like in the dark, like no one talked to me. But I think my advice would be, you can't do it alone, and that you do need a village.
Yes.
And like I think that's what's missing. And like a lot of my mom friends, it's something that like we all feel, is that we are doing a lot and we're badass boss babes, and we're married, we have a family, we have a house, and there's like so many things that you're taking care of. So I think it's like asking for help and like figuring out like what is worth your time. Like if you're going to take a whole week to do laundry, or you're going to like stay up, just send it off and like have someone fold it and be fucking done for you. And then now that hour, 2 hours you were doing something, maybe you work on your business, you work on your side hustle.
Or you spend time with your daughter,
spend
your
time
family,
with your daughter,
whatever.
whatever you got to do. So I think it's like maximizing and being efficient with your time.
So that's like a way that you integrate your business mindset into motherhood.
Yeah.
Okay, I like it. You have a very unique approach to motherhood. I mean, I love it. You do, because you let Valentina like be. You let her like, she's very independent. She's a year and a half. She's, you know what I mean? Like you let her get dirty. You let her wander around her grounds. She has dirt and, she's doing her thing.
Yeah.
And you're not like a helicopter mom.
No.
You've also taught her how to like go down a couch behind, so she doesn't.
Yeah, and she understands Greek, Spanish,
and you
and
really
English.
let her like be busy. You let her
16
explore.
months old.
Yes, like you let her do her thing.
Yeah, because like that's why they're here, is to like learn and grow and figure things out
on their own.
Yeah, and like, so for example, when I'm in the kitchen and we have a gate that breaks off from our kitchen to one of our living room entries, and I have like a clear acrylic gate, because I just aesthetics. But when she's looking at me, she's like smushing her face or she's crying, so I let her into the kitchen. And so in the beginning, she'd open up all the cabinets, and then it's like put a cabinet thing on it. So what I did was, and I'm not going to spend money and do all the cabinet things, so I just put some of her toys in one of the drawers, and I reshifted a few things. And now she like goes and she opens one or two drawers. Okay, so she takes out some Ziploc bags. Okay, so she takes out like some plastic, whatever. And then guess what? By the time she gets to the other drawer where her toy is, now she's like, oh, ooh. And then she starts playing and she's happy and she just wants to be with you and hang out with you. Like they just want to be with you. So I just let her be and I support her.
Yeah, totally. I love that.
Yeah.
All right, rapid fire.
Oh gosh.
Rapid fire time. What is your favorite memory of me?
Oh my God. There's a few.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, give me like your top 3 then. I thought like there wasn't
top 3.
Yeah.
Okay. One, we went out one night and we got like pretty wasted and you got into a fight with someone and you were wearing my red Louis Vuitton heels.
Yeah.
And you were literally getting carried out and you were like, Demetra, call our lawyer. And we were like in a bar. You were like 21.
The security lifted me up and was carrying me out.
I just remember seeing my shoes like walk like, and I was like, oh God, who am I going to have to fight?
Yeah. And I was screaming, call our lawyer.
Yeah,
I don't remember what happened. That was like around
really
the
fun.
time of Sweet and Vicious and we were just out.
Yeah. No, that was fun. Another one that's like cute is like you were young and we went to Disney World and mommy kept telling you and everything like that's fake, that's not real.
Yeah, because I was scared.
Well, yeah, you were just like, and then a horse goes by and you were like, Mommy, is that real? And we were like, oh, Lainey, you're so cute.
No, because she thought that she scarred me for life thinking that I was not going to know what was real or fake.
Yeah.
Right. Give me a third.
Oh,
Or we can just keep it at 2 if you can't think of a third.
No, I think it's just every day I love with you, Eleni.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Thank you. If we had a reality TV show, what would it be called?
Sweet and Vicious.
Oh, okay. Cool. I like it.
Right?
Mommy came up with that name for the podcast
it was
show.
technically a bar in the city.
But if you Google Sweet and Vicious on YouTube, you will find some
old school
archaic clips.
Yeah, it was that. And then also because Mommy would say, like, everyone thinks that I'm the vicious one.
Little do they know. What would be the theme song of your life?
I'm not sure because I feel like this... I have a soundtrack, right? Like an album.
What do you mean?
I have to pick a song.
Oh, you want like a full album?
Obviously.
All right. What would be the album?
And probably like 3 parts, like 3 discs.
What do you mean?
With like the little photo booklet that comes.
Oh, you're really showing your age. You're really
All the Way Up by Fat Joe, Remy Ma, the remix one though.
That's the song?
Yeah, probably just for now.
Nothing Can Stop Me, I'm All the Way Up?
Yeah.
Okay.
Nothing inside of me?
No, Nothing Can Stop Me. I'm all the way up.
Yeah.
That. Okay.
Yeah. I would say All the Lights, but like we can't talk about Kanye.
We can talk about Kanye. We can't talk about Ye.
Oh, they're 2 different people. I forgot.
Yeah. Yeah. Tell me 3 things that you're grateful for.
You.
Oh, thanks.
Valentina.
Bless.
And my husband.
What, anything else? Those are 3 people.
Oh, my life.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to yeah, those are beautiful things.
My freedom.
Yes.
Obviously my health. My mind.
Bless. All right. Beautiful. Yeah. Well, my beautiful sister.
That's it?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
How much time do I have left? Is it coming up to a wrap?
Yeah, you guys are over an hour now.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my God. Over an hour? Chris is just letting me rock with it. Well, sister, thank you for joning me. I love you so much.
I love you.
For an amazing episode of Juice is the New Tea. So as we begin to close out season 1, I only have a few more episodes left. I want to thank you for always being there for me, for encouraging me to aim higher and reminding me that I really can have and do it all. I love you.
True. You can have it all.
Yes. Amen. So if you loved this sisterly tea on business, abundance, money, and motherhood, don't forget to catch up on past episodes of Juice is the New Tea. Follow us on social at Juice is the New Tea and hit that subscribe button so you never miss a drop of wisdom. Until next time, stay juicy, stay abundant, and go call your sister and tell her that you love her. Thank you so much. We'll catch you next time. Juices the New Tea is brought to you by Cleanse Juices. For more information on 3-day juice cleanses and 4 flavor packs, visit iamcleanse.com. Use code JUICESThenewT for 10% off all orders.